Hey everybody, it's Matt Schmidt again, and today we're going to be talking about choosing a niche. If you're unfamiliar with what that word is, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But this is a crucial video for you to go through, and so you have an understanding of everything that is to come. We want to make sure that we have the perfect niche in mind, that we want to build a store around, we want to establish ourselves as a presence in, and basically build a community of people who will buy things from us, and that we can serve up, great t-shirts or great necklaces or whatever it is that you're going to sell. We want to make sure that we have a clear understanding, because the better understanding, the more people will get to buy. So let's go ahead and step right into it. What is a niche? If you've never heard that word before, basically a niche is basically an interest, hobby, profession that people share passion in. The key word is passion. So if they have passion in it, that's something we want to go into. A perfect example is nurses. It's a profession that has a lot of passion associated to it. It's where I got my start, really, and my breakout was serving up awesome shirts to nurses, and they were buying one after another, because if you understand the profession, you can speak to them on levels that someone who is outside of that profession wouldn't be able to do, and that's what we want you to do. We want you to get basically as if you're a nurse yourself, right? Or, gardening, or whatever niche, fishing, or whatever niche that it is that you want to get into, you have to be as if you are one of those people. We're going to focus on a niche that has a large presence on Facebook, because Facebook is going to be our advertising medium. We're going to, show you how to run ads to people on Facebook. Facebook is the largest social media platform available for us to advertise on, and so we want to take advantage of that. We'll talk more about that in a second. Some niches will be great on places like Google or, outside the internet in general, but they won't have an audience on Facebook. A perfect example of this is acne, right? There's a huge acne market out there. People to, like acne medicine to take care of their acne. But if you go onto Facebook, that's not going to be a great community for you to go after, because nobody's going to be socially talking about how much acne they have. So what we want to do is look at Facebook to understand if that niche is going to be there or not. So we want to focus our paid traffic at a large group of people, as large as possible, because the larger the better in terms of making sure that your ads perform. So we'll talk more about ads. I just want to make sure that you understand why we're using Facebook and why we want to make sure that the audience is there. Facebook has the most in-depth targeting for targeting people by their niche. So what you can really do is narrow deep down into, almost to the extent of where you could go, I want a nurse who drinks coffee. That is possible with the Facebook advertising platform. And so we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that. There are far more users of Facebook than any other social platform. Again, it gives us more people to go after. There are other great platforms like Pinterest, Instagram, which is actually part of Facebook, but the most users are on Facebook. So we're going to go look at some niches right now and look at their presence. But what we want to do first is you go to facebook.com/ads/audience insights. You might have to set up your ads account. We'll talk more about that here in the next video, but that should open up what I'm about to show you here. So I've gone to that URL and it's opened this for me. So I want to go and hit everyone on Facebook. And it's going to show me some things real quick. We're going to go more in depth in the targeting video about this platform right here. It's called Audience Insights. But basically, this is a window of understanding of everybody that is on Facebook. And so what we want to do real quick is most of the time we're going to be advertising in the United States. There's 300 million people plus in the United States. So it's a great starting point for anybody to advertise and sell a product to. So what I want to do right now is start inputting niches. So I would do, nursing is that one I was just talking about. So you can see that there's 10 million to 15 million monthly active people talking about the nursing niche. Okay. Something to note, something like this with a profession. What I would do is go over to Google and search for how many nurses in the United States. That would give me an understanding of how many nurses there actually are. And there's far less than 10 million. So what's the difference there? We'll talk more about that in the targeting video, but it's important for you to understand that this is just testing out the viability of the niche to make sure that there is a presence there. So what I want to do next is say, okay, let's do fishing. So you have a couple different options here. You have recreational fishing. We'll just do fishing in general. And you can see there's a ton of people here, 15 to 20 million monthly active people talking about fishing in some fashion. So we know that that's an enormous niche, so we can build a store around. I mean, you see things like Bass Pro out there in the real world, which are large stores for a reason, because the amount of people doing fishing is substantial. So a smaller one would be something like maybe pit bulls. You can see animal breed. So you have 500 to 600,000 monthly active people. Still plenty of people. But, in a scenario like this, what you could do is, all right, do I want to make a pit bull niche store, or do I want to make a dog store and then serve up pit bull items, pit bull shirts and things like that? Those are two options for you to debate around, and it's up to you what you want to do. My mentality with picking a niche is I like to recommend that anybody that is starting out do something that not necessarily you're passionate in, but maybe a loved one is passionate in. So like a close friend or your wife or your husband or something like that, or a family member. Because what you can do is you can ask those people exactly what it is that makes them so passionate about what they do or what they're interested in and what that niche involves. A greatest example is my mother was a nurse. So I didn't have a very good understanding of nurses or what makes them different from everyone else. But what I did was I asked her, what was it about your profession that made you so passionate about it? What was something that separated you from everyone else? And you start to learn about the niche. The reason I want you to not be going after something yourself when you start off is it makes you a little bit disconnected from the position, so you don't make bad choices. We're going to recommend that when you're doing paid traffic, that it's all business and you're cutting things off and you have no emotional ties to your designs or your necklaces or anything like that. If it's your hobby, if it's your profession, you will start to have those ties to it, and you might push an ad further than you recommended, and it might be a losing ad, and you should have killed it off a day or two ago, and now you've spent $50 wasting on it because you thought it was a great shirt design, or you would have worn it yourself. So just at first, we want to break those ties and go after asking somebody, what is it that makes you so passionate about your fishing or your hunting? What's funny to you? What kind of shirts would you wear? Or what kind of necklaces would you wear? Or what kind of items here would you wear? What kind of widgets do you buy? And then we can build a store around that. And you can have enough of a connection to ask the questions, but not enough of a connection to make those bad choices. All right, so we will see you in the next video. We're going to walk through some store setups, but first, what we need to do is make sure that you have an FB Ads account, your fan page created. After you pick a niche, this is the next crucial step. Okay? We will talk soon. Thanks.